welcome to my life. Yes, guys.
Oh, come here. Over there.
Yes, that was an earthquake.
What's
Yes.
Daddy?
Let's duck. Run, cover.
What's Daddy?
Duck, run, cover. Let's take cover. Alright, guys. So, how was your Sunday? How was your Sunday treating you? How was church? How is life treating you on your own? Hello, stop in there, I may as well and go on inside go watch the TV. Yes, guys. The devil is a liar. Welcome to my life, guys. Sometimes I can't keep up in it, but I have to. I have to keep up, you know. Sometimes you say you can't bother, but you have to bother. You have to bother no matter what the circumstances in your life. You can't make it get you down. You can't make them know say you're not doing okay. Let them see you and just assume things. Yeah, you have to put out the best outside because only the best is good, you know. Only the best is good enough, guys. I love you too, just as always. I love you so much. Eh, 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 Look here, it's not pretty out there, and it's not easy living. You know, it's so hard sometimes to live, but we just have to make ace while the sun shine, right? And just tell yourself, say, once you're alive, you are going to do it. No matter what the circumstances gonna come your way, you are going to do this. Yes. You know, sometimes, oh my God. Somebody could tell me, say, Mama, yeah, I'm still so. I'm still so. Don't do that. Don't do that. I love it too. Oh, God. But to me, I say nothing to them people. When I say nothing to them, no, come me realize, say, them know, say, me no come to church come for a Sunday, and I win for a Sunday come, them decide say them want to do certain things. Wait till I create chaos up at a place there. Then we are go see. Them are go see. Think people easy? People not easy to deal with, you know. I one of the hardest to deal with. Right now, to deal with animal easier than to deal with people. I tell you the truth. You can tell an animal to come, sit over there, eat whatever. Them I go obey. Yeah, I have to deal with human being. I have to stress out yourself so much. Be all I live forever. People, I'm hungry, you know. Yes, guys, let's talk about the earthquake that we experienced on Monday. Yeah, it was something like it was like this. That's the earthquake, guys. That was earthquake. The blows I want pin right here. So I'm not used to them something with all of my whatever. What I do, the better put the almost just took off. Yeah. Welcome to my live, one and all. I hope wherever you are, are doing great, right? And even if you're not doing great, tell yourself that you are doing great, because by affirming to yourself that you are doing great, then things will eventually happen. They say that when they give you sour, sour fruit, you should turn it and make some nice juice. But sometimes it's hard to make these nice juice. But guys, you never know until you know. I love you, Lord, 'cause your mercies never fail me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up, oh Jesus, until I lay my head down, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so good. Every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Look here, it's the goodness of God where we are here. So let God give God all the praise and all the glory. We are here today. Well, I didn't hear about anybody losing their life during the earthquake, and we are grateful for that. It doesn't matter the material things that we have lost. That somebody or someone out there could be willing to help us back. But when we lost a life, we cannot, replace that life, because that life is already lost. Alright. Look here. Alright, so Monday gone now. Monday me did in the town. Yeah, me did in the town and do business. And I went up by KFC, alright. Sometimes when you feel good and them something that you feel like you want to treat yourself. Look here. KFC very expensive, Like, yeah, I get 2 pieces of chicken like for $700. I want, what may I say? 2 pieces of chicken for 900. Call it almost $1,000. Look here, I don't know what the 3 piece, but I know it's 1,000 something. And yeah. So most of the time I got KFC, I want 2 piece, like 1 piece for me and 1 piece for Carla. When you feel like you want to treat yourself, like so sometimes you do things and just want to give yourself that you like upliftment it. And then yeah, I'm like patty, so sometimes I buy a portion of patty. Yeah, like give him like during the week or whenever I'm eat it up and give him, cause him attack about one patty and one KFC. But I don't think him know the difference between patty and KFC, yeah. And bread and dumpling and bula. I just one word in my call, I'm not sure she know them in once. I understand that. So after I buy the KFC, I'm say it's a couple of chips, cause I know say by the time I reach home the chips are go get soft and saggy. So I say I sit down there, I'm gonna do my thing, and then I say I'm going a crazy pea. I'm going a crazy pea. I'm gonna take one of my favorite piece of the cake then. Yeah. You have to treat yourself like I remember when the past and gone, the people are gonna enjoy your money, and sometimes you and them are not even friends. So yeah, I say alright. I said when me in a crazy pea I'm hearing me hear one lady come in and say, "Well, another video quick." I'm here like, no. I said to myself, I can never feel my earthquake. But she afraid that she attacked me, but saying that Jamaica, and people attack to people. Sometimes you don't know them from Adams, and you jump in the conversation. Yeah. So we Jamaicans, we socialize. Yeah, we're stuck in our country and thing. And she attacks the girl, and she said, so one of the time the feeling seat and rocks and me rocks, and he must say, To the person down below say, why you shake it, you see it, fam? I don't know, Jamaican creative when it come out to expression, yeah. Because they know it was an earthquake and at the time, you know, I stand up and my foot them feel heavy like it a carry so loaded. And me I say, by God, me I say, because me as a person most of the time, me they walk up and down all over the place. So me I say, me never feel no, me never feel no earthquake. No time what time, me never feel no earthquake for whatever reason. But then if I told me that walk up and down, or whatever the case was, I didn't feel any earthquake. One time ever feel earthquake and I went they did on a yard also. I sit down. I think I was sitting on a chair and this young man up by the top, he was using a weed whacker. And I don't know weed whacker. I don't know what I know it as, but I know it as weed whacker. It's something you use and cut the grass. The one on your wall and it have a back strap on it. And yeah, you know, I have to go start learn how to insert picture in my video then. But yeah, as time goes by, maybe me learn. Yeah. And yeah, I sit down on the chair, you know, or on the bed, one of them a good while. And not this earthquake, the earthquake before that. I sit down on the seat and the man up there use the weed whacker. I feel the chair like it move up and like it shake on me and say, hear me now myself. To call the man up this I use the weed whacker. And me dep on the chair, so just a shake. So me and then I come to myself and I say, no girl, that is not the weed whacker. That is not the weed whacker. I say, oh, it's an earthquake. So most of the time when earthquake come, we don't remember exactly what to do. You know, we just think like if I want vehicle to pass, you say like for instance, say why the vehicle shake up also, or why if somebody a laugh, you say why them have a laugh so low round there, so I have people there, so no, we not think about earthquake when earthquake come because we are stick about something. Because in our mind, we not think about no earthquake, and then besides our IPM, you know the Office of Disaster Preparedness Management, most of the times they would put out something to say, for instance, they expect it, and then I think it's because it's a sudden movement on the earth crust, so you know, in have no time to give no warning and say, alright, earthquake are coming now. Earthquake now until the same are coming now. And you have to definitely know say it will come and then you gonna know because the Bible tells you say in those last days you're gonna have diverse disasters in places. So I am assuming that these are the days, you know. You have to just prepare and expect, you know, anything. I may tell you, say, you know, when me walk go down a little bit down a market, come here and say me not feel no earthquake, you know. And when me walk a little bit go down a market, you know, I may hear them as a pan RJ and say, oh, there was a 5.6 magnitude earthquake. I may say, okay, it's real. But you know that my yard, you know, and me can't, but I stop. I go listen to the news because I have things to do in the town and you have to go pick up the picnic by later and school over by certain times and you know one. If you know say I hear a child alone there at school like them something that I mean I listen and people start getting experience. I say I don't know how them people are so dramatic, you know, man. When me go down at the supermarket, you know. And when I went to the supermarket, there was no sign of any earthquake, right? And I'm going to the supermarket and I said, David does not tell me to put this so holy for trouble. I said, no. And one lady said she did at the supermarket and she had cash her teeth there and she said she just see the decks just a shake so. And she said to the cashier, so cashier, why you have to shake up the decks like that? That is to show you that persons they are not aware, you know, of their surroundings, you know. Person say that them they in a them living room and I study something them I study just a dance, and a dance so and them to the city a dance and the wall a dance and you know it kinda traumatic, you know, if you don't know, you know, not everybody will be able to deal with it, you know, the situation in such a way in which you can say, you know, you have experience. And no matter how much experience you have at time, You know, just because it's a sudden, it's something that happens sudden, you know, you're going to react based upon whatever your feelings are telling you to do at the time, you know, because if your feelings tell yourself to run, you know, you are going to run. If your feelings tell yourself to turn up, you know, you're going to turn up, you know. If your feelings tell yourself to take off your clothes or take off your shoes or whatever it is, yeah. You know, this is a nice blouse. This is a nice blouse. I don't know why I feel so uncomfortable. Come on, week fever when they look a young kitten. They look a young kitten. Welcome to my life, guys. Welcome to my live one and all. I don't know if I sinus me I develop nowadays or what. It's just like my battery. Alright, so we are looking at our today's topic is we're talking about the earthquake that happened on Monday. Alright, so I'm going to give you a definition of what's an earthquake. So earthquake is a weak to a violent shaking of the ground produced by the sudden movement of rock material below the earth's surface. So the 5.4 earthquake affected countries such as Bahamas, Jamaica, Haiti, United States, Cuba. Alright, so the 30 kilometer, it was 30 kilometer from Kingston, on a Monday, and it was said that after that they had many aftershock, and I heard that the aftershock is worse than the earthquake itself because it's like the effect that happened, after what happened. So if for instance, the earthquake came and for instance the building got a crack, but you didn't realize that the building has a crack and you enter that building, then that building can fall on you. So it's what is it that happened after the earthquake. That would be like the aftershock, Alright. Alright, so so after the earthquake came, persons were given, their definition of what they saw when the earthquake came. Alright. So when I was in the supermarket and persons were giving their, you know, their experience of the earthquake, and one lady said that she was at the hairdresser, and then all of a sudden she just found herself just a shake, so. And she said to the hairdresser, I said, why you shape me like that? Why you shape me like that? And then, like doing that moment, some person they don't know what to do. So them just go maybe don't say them. So it's after, the whole commotion, you realize that it wasn't anybody doing anything. It was actually the earth surface itself, behaving like that. And persons gave their what they saw. And when I went into the taxi, after I left and I went to the taxi, persons were giving, what they felt. And I heard a guy in the taxi say that he went down to a car place where they fix car, and the guy he jack up the car and went under the car to whatever I was doing under the car. And he said, no, when the guy under the car, jack up the car and go under the car, under the, he feel it, car just a shake, so man. And he said, he must say, why don't you have to make the car drop down upon me, and he run from under the car. He run from under the car, because if anybody under one car, jack up a car, and one earthquake come, well, depends. They might go and run from under the car. So the guy, no, we go fix the car, no. Turn up beside the car, like him lean up beside the car, and the guy under the car, the mechanic under the car, I drive it the car, and I saw him feel the car just a shake. Yeah, the guy feel the car just a shake. So the man say, him say, lead up the car, and the man said to the mechanic under the car, why you have to shake your car like that? So persons have their different opinion and experience of the earthquake. Persons, in their office, I said to them, the co-worker said, why they might shape the decks like that? Or they might wonder why the TV are shake on the wall. So if somebody outside at work, they might say, why the man outside of here beat the wall? So I said, man, nobody a beat the wall. A earthquake come and a shake up the place, And then the Bible tells us, based on how certain persons live, that is just to show you that things like that exist, and if you don't really change or break up your folly ground, then things is going to get worse up, right? You know, so if you have animal in a your yard, right, and animal no love like loud explosion or nothing at all. So as soon as them as soon as them hear certain whatever commotion and go on, the animal are go tick, tick, you know, take with himself. And, even sometimes if you have your grill, right, and the animal lie down whether inside or outside the grill, and them hear them violent shaking, then them a go on try and fit through the grill no matter how small, and the sound and the noise with the poor, and especially the dog we might carry with him. I don't know normal sound, but if you not aware of the surrounding and know say is an earthquake, then you know I'm gonna know say it's an earthquake, right? So persons give the experience of when they got the earthquake, right? So they said that some persons say that they stand up and they realize that everything was just shaking. Everything around them was shaking and they didn't understand why it was shaking, right? So you have some persons that say that when the earthquake came and they were like sitting and all of a sudden them both gone, you know, right? So a few persons remember that they must drop. They must cover, drop, and roll, right? So some person remember if you do that, then they run and left their shoes and all these things because they don't remember the earthquake drill. And then even sometimes if you have earthquake drill, you know, the way all you like unconscious or you know shock, you're going at a series of shot there, you're not gonna remember say you must cover, drop, cover, and roll. Yeah. And then some of us we are not maybe trained in what to do. For instance, they say that when you're in a classroom or whatever, you should go under the desk, right? What if, for instance, you go under the desk and the desk itself, you know, like mash up or whatever, are you at a door jam? I know that maybe, and they said you just stand at the door jam because the door jam is maybe the strongest part of the building or the house. So when, for instance, when the rest of the building collapsing, you know, you might have the door jam not collapsing because you know door jam always kind of more firmer than the rest of the house. But what if it's all of the house collapsing? What do you do? You know, things like those we are not prepared or we don't know what we're supposed to do. Like certain time when that come, right? They say that, for instance, say you must go out in the opening, right? If you are in an opening space, what should you do? Right? You should stay there because when you are in an open, there is no tree, there is no house, there is nothing around you to, for instance, to maybe fall on you, right? So, because you are in an opening. But what if, for instance, the earth is opening up to take you in? What do you do? You know, we don't really have we don't really know what to do. And then again, maybe we might not have control over certain things because if, for instance, you're in an environment where the earth is opening up, chances are it's going to go down, going to go down like this. So, chances are you're going to go down with the earth. So then again, there are sometimes in life, in some certain things you just can't help because what is to be will be, and then sometimes it happened for us to know that it happened, and for us to share our experience and to know that next time what we should do in case there's a natural disaster, because as I said, natural disaster, it doesn't happen by the activity of man. It just happen naturally. It's not really the activity of man that cause these earthquake or whatever to happen. But that's just her whole fantasy. It's not that easy. No, it's not that good. So I try to be less on yours. And if I sign this problem, may I develop power. But whatever it is, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, shall not prevail. It shall not. Omar, good evening. I'm coming to your yard for some Sunday dinner. Alright, so yes. So when I come over the taxi now, I meet one of my friend and I say to them, I say to her, I say, you didn't feel the earthquake? And she say, no. So I say, look like I alone never feel the earthquake. So I say, alright. It look like a back up the east part of the country. Where my auntie, where your auntie there? Where your auntie there? Where my auntie? Which one your auntie asked for? Yeah, so I say look like I'm maybe up at the east must get the earthquake. We don't have country here, so maybe we don't feel it. Even if we did feel it, yeah, it never really have that will impact the power wing. So she start showing me some video like where I go around and she showed me this video. I'm looking at the supermarket, it's like everything shake off at the shelf, like everything shake off at the shelf. So everything shake off. So me just I said to myself, say if everything shake off at the shelf and you did go in there did if are you hungry if you could have eat some might. And that's some of the glass buckle them shake off at the shelf and some of them bricks, so hazard that, right? And then through sometime them packet things them so near to the end of the shelf because you want to stock up the shelf because say and all the people come at the supermarket. So you know say you have a stock in supermarket because you know what, every time somebody asks you something you have to go run to see the stock shop. Stock shelf. I mean it is a super you see food item are grown what bust up and dash and what scatter and all these damages and loss. I mean I say and them tell me say I don't want supermarket. I mean I say no sir. And then I at the supermarket because I go down there and everything was on the shelf. See me say nothing no going on Brownstone. I must way up a town all of them something take place. And then just show me one next video with one big old stone, you know, you can call them boulders. One big old boulders roll come down off of one in a clot. One something with it right there, so you ain't clot it. Yes, and then we look at you see one next video, one some whole heap of stone tear down off of some hill and block the road there. Yeah, nobody can pass. And you know Jamaican people are excited and creative when it come out to certain things. So why? Look what going down there so and all these things. Yes, me dear. And that's a one power what a one. Me no drink coffee, tea, mango time. Care nice it may be mango time. In the eyes of the mango crop, when the fruit them a wash and drop, run your pot down without mango time. Me no drink coffee, tea, mango time. Care nice it may be mango time. In the heights of the mango crop, when the fruit them a well punch up, wash your pot, turn it down, mango time. Yes, I'm going to show me one next video now. Which part? One next supermarket damage. I may say Jaja. I say Jaja. So you know, so the workers them have all the work for doing because them have go clean up back at the supermarket then and then maybe them have to go dump it and you know people out there and them trying to tell me want things to eat and them something there. You know maybe the health inspector inspect whatever them call themselves I go say those are not fit for consumption. So you have to destroy all them things them. Right? And you see all sort of video I go run. And you see everybody, almost everybody I explain what them go through. During the earthquake there. Yes. Some dramatic experience. They never know what to do. They think of the house a move. They think of somebody a movie house. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Yes. And then now, when me come home now, you know, I mean I listen my radio, me them a talk about the earthquake will pass through and they put it in a studio and run out of studio, run gone out of door and you know remember see them fit drop cover and roll take cover and who they in a studio and roll left their shoes who they in a studio and roll left the studio and I wonder why them a movie studio and all these things. And persons were just giving their version of the earthquake and what they went through and what they did. You know, and some persons said they didn't remember that they're supposed to drop, drop on cover and all these things. Right? So when it was news time, when it was news time, and people still give how them feel and what them see and what they observe and who thinks them. Then I wonder why other persons are shit doing the building and all these things. So when I start watching news now and I say, you see so up, you know Jamaica people them dramatic about them description and them say and the coffee farm, I don't remember in which area the coffee farmers were If you remember tomorrow I'm on this so man, oh you are talk about care. What is to be will be, and what is for you you'll get to care. You can't stop God work cause God are doing thing, and you have to just know say if I want tree run go, if I in a want house, if I want anywhere run go, I ain't supposed to get it, I go get it. Cause look what they are when lightning a flash. Yeah, when lightning and thunder clap, and persons still studying lightning lick them. You know? Look how the guys in on the football field. Them they on football field in a open and lightning struck them. You understand me? So sometimes, God I show we some sign, but somehow we not understand. So even if I didn't know also did there, and you run under the bed and let it strike, and it's a go lick you, it's a go lick you. So you can't prevent certain things, right? You can't escape from certain things. It's just like when death come and your time for dead. And no matter where you run go, no matter if you say, alright, make me go at the back of the line, come the at the front of the line. And he say, and in death say, let me start from the back of the line. But sorry about the back of the line, you are going to get it. So no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you will feel all of the effect there. So did you run or hide? LOL? No, I did at Brownstone. I was at Brownstone. I hear people that talk so they feel earthquake and me never feel none. I don't know if it was because I was moving up and down, but no. Only hear people that talk about the experience and what they do, and them think the place that move, and them think the place. Some people say them in a them building and them just think say the place like a collapse on them or with them, so them have to run go outside. I mean like yeah, you can run, but how far can you run to? You understand? You can only run to a certain extent because if you're in a building, like for instance, if you're in a passageway, right, and you're running and you realize that the passage in front of you is actually breaking away, then where you gonna run to? You can't run. You have to just stand up and face your judgment. So when I was watching the news and I realized you had some coffee farm, I don't remember in which area they were, but St. Elizabeth I was from, but that's down so or Manchester, I don't remember where, and the road break away. I mean sometimes me I try to figure out which part on the road break away or whatever. Sometimes me can't understand. But sometimes I just say, alright, let me not put this on my head because no matter what me still not gonna understand. And per this, the farmers were saying that they had to pick the coffee because if they don't pick the coffee were going to spoil. And you want them to run down this hill. I don't know if it's like the road right there and there was a landslide or it was I can't determine how the hill, that slope, the oil coming if it was a landslide. So like for instance in era where you don't have anything to back up these, these things, and when you remove all the top the top the top surface of the soil and you move the plant and the tree because the trees are there and the grass are there help to hold the soil in position. So when you cut down the tree them and the soil and them something after a while the soil will get loose, and we have earthquake, and when every rain fall, you're going to have that landsliding. So persons, some area were having landslide, and they have to carry bulldozer or whatever it is to remove all these debris and these rock, all these big boulders that were in the way, and children couldn't go to school because some areas, after the earthquake, then I don't know about your area, then rain begin began to fall in certain areas. So some of the school put out a warning that the students were not supposed to come to school because of the earthquake, and then some place had rain, and you can't go to school because you don't sure if the building was going to collapse or to what effect the earthquake or what extent the earthquake had on the building, and you don't want them to come there and next thing the building collapse. So some school closed until they got somebody to come in to check to make sure that the building was okay and everything was okay, and get the go ahead to continue school. And I was watching the news, and at bolos came down. I have landslide and person couldn't move, and all the coffee farmer, they were complaining that they need help over here because the coffees, they're ripe and they want to pick them, but they have to take the distance from where the coffee is to the road, and it is blocked, and for them to take a next route, far around, it would make any sense. And then the price of coffee, I don't know if it was 3,000, 8,000, or $9,000 per bag. It was somewhere in that region for the coffee, and they say that is not worth it. And for farmers to be spending so much money and they're not benefiting, but I don't know. Nobody now benefit nowadays as far as we see, and everybody wants things, and everybody just has scrape, and then they tell you that you're supposed to do farming, but sometimes when you do the farming and it happen that some of them spoil because you don't have any buyer, or maybe where the market to where the farm is, you realize that to transport all these things sometimes it don't make any sense. So maybe personal forever been having these disadvantage and advantage in the area that they live based on whatever it is that they produce, right? So whichever wherever you turn, maka go juke you. If you not juke your attitude, go juke your mile and name something. So yes, the earthquake came and it did the damage that it was supposed to do. And some persons are recovering, some are not recovering because at the end of the day, maybe some persons don't have it, or maybe they just work for hand to mouth. So at the end of the day, you can only do so much and no more. And I saw on the news where this house, I don't know if it was in Trelawney or it was St. Mary, it was somewhere down there where the owner was overseas, and the tenant, or the persons I should say, that was occupying the building there. They left home and they went somewhere. I don't know where they went for, whatever they went there for. They went out for the weekend, right? And the earthquake came, and it was a 3-story house, and the 3-story house actually turned into a 2-story house because the first floor sank below earth surface, leaving the second floor and the third floor. And what do you call the people them there? Well, demolish house, they say that they're gonna demolish house because the house is not good anymore because it's sick. But persons will maybe still live in it because you know that it was a loss. That's a big loss, and you don't know maybe when you might be able to build back one next house like that. And then things is so hard nowadays. Sometimes you can't even make one room, much as you gonna make one 3-story house. And maybe when you started that house you were maybe young, no, you may be old, or maybe you reach retirement age, you're not in a position you know to build a next house. Some persons might have life easy, and the next person life harder. Some persons up in Kingston, they were talking about their story, or their house collapse and things wash out of them house. And some persons saying that it doesn't make any sense because the damage is already done. And some persons say it's a mindset that they should leave their house, and after they left the house, that happened. And they're giving out warning, saying that, for instance, when you hear that an earthquake is going to come or a storm, and you live in a area where these things normally happen, you should move to flats, or move to a family member that can accommodate you until things get a little bit better. But you have some stubborn people out there. When they hear about certain things, them don't want to move, whatever reason, them don't want to move. Them just feel secure wherever they are, and then just think say them, if they so them supposed to lose them life, them are gonna lose them life. But what they don't understand is that when you as a person live in certain area, and then certain things happen to you, you pass on gone. and the person when you leave behind, you're now mourning and going through this grief and and then worse if not never they left on the will. If you bury you and name something they saw. Person need to think about other person, not only for themselves, because when you pass on gone, you leave loved one behind where more and worse if you are the breadwinner or whatever it was, then the persons that you leave behind, they're gonna live with that scar or whatever, knowing that it was this type of person or you were that type of person, and then you are no longer here, and they're gonna be traumatized knowing that, for instance, when they hear about the next earthquake or when the next earthquake come, they're gonna think of only thing that they can think of is maybe you or what's happened to other person. Same, for instance, if they did know, then they would have tried to make things a little bit better for themselves and other person. Welcome to my life, guys. Feel free to discuss. I'm not gonna charge you guys. If you're just listening, listener, if you want to make your input, you can make constructive input. But welcome to my life. If you are just a viewer, a subscriber, or whatever it is, just welcome. Yeah, just welcome to my life.
What? Mascot in the bees. Mascot. Shani.
Alright, so after the earthquake, you had persons who were traumatized, and the news said that the amount of person were turned up at hospital because they're mentally traumatized. Like if them could have take like 200 patients for the day, all of some all 1,000 outside full, and there I think 35 children were admitted. After the earthquake, they went to hospital because of the trauma that they went through. And persons on the news, they were giving their input about the earthquake, and on videos you could see, that they capture on camera, the live camera, how some persons operate. I think it was one company you could see where they happy nice now. You could see where the employee and the employee were instructing them what to do, that they should stop, drop, stop, cover, and so they had that to show, and some they were instructing them that they should go under the decks, and some were saying that they should evacuate and all these things, and on the news they were showing some colleges that got affected, some walls break away. He had some glass they completely removed from. I'm talking about those big glasses. They were damaged, they were broken, and some buildings were damaged, and they had to do repair, and they had to do check, and most of the people them traumatized, right? Them traumatized like to the point which part them don't know what to do with themselves, and so they need that psychology, that mental, help, because some of them maybe at the first them are go through such an earthquake, and I heard it was the largest earthquake ever since. They had one before it, but it was maybe 5.4 or 5 point. Yeah, I think it was 5.2. Yes, and they say out of all, it was like this one was the worst. And I heard that Jamaica got the biggest hit. So just imagine, little Jamaica. Maybe if you go on the map, you can find Jamaica the way Jamaica small. And if you know, so Jamaica get the biggest hit. So that is to show you that time will come when you have no control over certain things. So you just have to just do what you have to do when you have to do, and you don't really have any control over certain things. So you have to just live life to the fullest, and don't live with no regrets, and just do things and just know what you're supposed to do. So after the earthquake, you have some business. They there's once you're in a business, then you're supposed to know the assembly point. So when you assemble at the assembly point, then they do a check count to find out if all the persons who were in the building at the time is outside, and if all the persons are not outside, then they'll have to get somebody, you know to who is responsible in whatever area that is, to go and check to find out if anybody live inside there alive, right? Because you don't really want to go there as a person who's inexperienced, and you go inside and the building come down on you and you don't know what to do, right? So that would be a disaster there. So you don't want those things to happen to you. So sometimes when you're at certain workplace or at certain school, so they would do the earthquake drill, right? But I don't know if they still do the earthquake drill, but some persons still do the earthquake drill. So they would ring the buzzer, whatever they ring, and whenever they ring the buzzer, you're supposed to cover your head and run for cover, or the normal is because it's practice. They say that you should go under your decks or go between the door jam and wait until you can move, right? So after you realize that you can move now, you're supposed to go outside, and you're supposed to meet. You're not supposed to run because you can't run, and you can persons that are in front of you or behind you, can trip them. And when you trip one person, then a lot of persons are going to go down. So when you run, you can trip persons, and instead of making the floor smoother, it's going to be harder for some persons. So it's better you just walk swiftly and meet at the assembly point, right? So when you meet at the assembly point now, you do a check count, right? So for instance, say if you are a teacher, you would walk with the register and you would tick off to see if the student at beginning are the students there at the end, right? So if they are not there, they'll consider they are damaged, right? So that's how you do the drill. So you meet at the assembly point, and you do a check count, and after they finalize everything, and so then you would head back to your class or head back to your work area, right?
Bye. Bye.
Okay, what are some of the things that you should do before an earthquake? Alright, so what are some of the things you should do before an earthquake? You should check, right? If you're at home, you check to make sure the building is okay. You check to make sure that you know everything is secure. But if you're at home, you check to make sure that the building is okay, as in there's no crack, there's no default, the zinc are intact, and all these things. And also you can do the earthquake drill. So when you do the earthquake drill before the earthquake, some of the things you should do. So you do the earthquake drill. So when you do the earthquake drill now, persons will be familiar with what they are supposed to do during an earthquake. They will have a first-hand experience on what they should do during an earthquake. So you can do the earthquake drill, right? As I explained before. So every now and then they can practice the earthquake drill to make sure that persons they know what to do. I don't know if I'm repeating myself too much. Alright, so what you should do, I want to say, first make sure you're up, not sleeping. Well, it's not like you know that the earthquake is going to come. It's not like you know that earthquake is going to come. Like for instance, at 10 o'clock. So um, you're not going to sleep because earthquake is it. Earthquake don't really give you a warning to tell us that I'm going to come today. No, it's a sudden. It is something that happens suddenly. So, but what you can do is practice. You can practice before the earthquake so you can know what to do when the earthquake comes. But then again, it is not something that it's sometimes you're not conscious in yourself to know what you're supposed to do because it comes so suddenly that um you have that shock, like you're not sure like exactly what me for do, it's just like when it come like you panic, and then the way how it come, you not even know it's an earthquake because in a your mind you say maybe if you're in a our if you are in a house, you might have say as somebody uh, maybe you might have say somebody are breaking at the house. You understand me? So it's not like you go and know say yeah it's an earthquake. Or if you turn up one place and it a shake and somebody a use one weed whacker out there. So you have to say to yourself say maybe I the man where I use the weed whacker make him earth a vibrate. So it's not something we it's and even when the earthquake come, it's like it take you a little while to know say it's an earthquake because you have to say, hold on. But like you ask yourself a question, like you dig down yourself and say, like, hold on. The earth never did a shake all along, so why it start shake? So it's like an evaluation of what is going on. And say, oh, it's an earthquake. And then sometime by you to figure out that it's an earthquake, it's like maybe pass and gone. Because I know nothing will happen for long. Earthquake not really last long. I very rarely last long. It's just something that it's just like a snap like that. So maybe sometime by the time you to figure it out, the damage is already done. You understand me? So I don't know. I don't know. You have to just know say I just Mother Earth and Lord God rain I come on me close up on the line.
Shani, what do you Shani? Shani, what do you with it? Shani, where are you, Shani? Mommy, look. Shani, Shani, look, Shani. Mommy.
Guys, it's a pretty hot day. And a better rose. It's not a better rose. Oh. Welcome to my life, guys. How you doing? How is life treating you? Are you in the best of health? Todo beleza, amor. Mama, oh, you see am I up here, so?
Yes. I'm like it. You know, I'm like it. I like it.
It's a rainy season. I'm also really rain fall.
I like.
You see all right here, so?
No, over there.
Over where?
Down there. Am I ready? No, I'm not ready. I like.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. So we are at what to do when you don't know. Alright, so you are in an open area. What do you do? Right. So most person might say like when you're in an open area you should stay there. But what if the earth is closing in on you? What do you do? Right? You don't know what to do because you don't know what to do. Alright, so you can run. Where are you gonna run to when everywhere is closing in? So there are some tricky questions. What do you do when you don't know what to do? You're under a table and the table is moving and the table is sinking. What do you do? You're at the door jam and the door jam is collapsing. What do you do? Still hold on to the post? Things like these. We don't really know what do what am I supposed to do when I am going through this time of my life, right? What do you do in a building when a building is collapsing? The worst thing you can do is maybe scream. Is there anyone gonna hear you? Because maybe other persons are screaming to and seeking for help. And I heard that there were congestion at the stoplight because there was a warning, and then again that there was going to be an earthquake, and then again maybe person has to deal with their own situation within the region or the area that they are in, so they won't be able to, go out there on the road, especially the police or the traffic police or whoever is responsible for in the streets, right? So you're gonna have congestion because there was power outage, right? There power outage. So what do you do? So there is power outage. So the stoplight is not going to be working, right? And you're gonna have build up of traffic because you have some unruly drivers on the road when they're supposed to turn this way or they're supposed to turn that way, and then you have one next set where maybe a whole up a line or with not supposed to turn here so and turn here so they gonna cause problem, or you have how much of them want come down in a how much line. So when persons supposed to, for instance, say move out or move, over or to switch, go over into a next lane or whatever, they can't switch because there are traffic there, right? So what do you do in these cases? There's no police around to say alright or to put order to certain things. So you're going to always have these persons coming, these unruly persons. So what do you do? What do you do when there's a crack in a building and the building is collapsing and you don't know if you should run or you should stay or you should cover or you should duck or whatever it is, what do you do? We need to be educated on some of the things that we should do when there's an earthquake. Can I stop it as a miss? Because there are many persons out there, going through this whatever it is, but they don't know what to do when certain things. They know they are supposed to do, yeah, maybe some of them they know that they're supposed to do whatever. But when it actually comes to the test, do they know exactly because they are traumatized? Or they are at the point where they don't know if they should do this or do that, you know? Whereas if you are the leader of the team,
Mommy.
yes, sir.
Help me, boat.
Alright, so you know you have persons out there are still traumatized, right? Especially maybe the younger children or even adults too. Because for instance, we had the earthquake Monday, right? And some school dismissed, right? And some business place they closed because maybe they didn't have the electricity or they don't have whatever it is that to function or to carry them. And after going through this trauma, going through this earthquake, right? And then when you go through this earthquake, there's nobody there to counsel you or so, carry you through this, whatever it is that you're going through. And then to know that, for instance, you have to go to school the following day, or you have to go back to work the following day without anybody saying, are you okay? Or, are you fit to go to work the following day? So, they need to put things in place for persons like those who, have certain condition where they're traumatized, mentally, physically, and otherwise, because not everybody can work into such an environment or have the ability and the capacity to go through the day after such trauma, right? You might have one and two persons or maybe a couple persons might be able to go through. But what happened to the persons who really can't? What happened to those persons who really can't? You know, so it kind of hard for some persons out there knowing that you've been affected and you don't have anybody to turn to or nowhere to turn because of whatever it is that it is. But it is what it is, and people just think that maybe because certain things happen, you should be able to just work with it and move on and know that you know people have them money to make and them so you're not thinking about your yes your well-being. Yeah.
Gone. It's not why he's there. It's me. Now, John. Now, sit.
This is not the first, nor is it the last earthquake, huh? So as long as you are here, just consider yourself that you're gonna have much more like these, and you need to be able to prepare yourself mentally, physically, and all these, Ali, so you can be able to face the fear of what am I supposed to do, where am I supposed to turn, or it's not easy. It's not pretty out there. I don't know, all of a sudden nowadays me just start get hungry. So I don't know, I'm not eating enough food or what. I almost make this vlog to be why I eat it. I'm not going to work with you. I don't work with you.
right now.
Alright, so what
Numbers.
to do
Numbers.
or not to do
Numbers.
after an earthquake. Alright,
Numbers.
so don't go back into the building after leaving without being informed.
Sorry.
So you should never go back into a building without being informed. One reason is that maybe there could be cracks or holes in there, hazard in the building that you are not aware of. And when you enter, then it could maybe harm you. Alright, so listen to the news for update. Alright, so after there's an earthquake, then it's a worldwide thing or it's a nation thing. So you're supposed to listen to the news to find out how far it reached, right? Or what are the things you're supposed to do. If you're supposed to go to work tomorrow, or if you're not supposed to go to work, if your family member alright, you want to find out what going up at town, what going at Clarendon, what going Westmoreland, because chances are maybe you cannot take vehicle to go there because maybe there are road blockage. So you listen to the news to find out if the road block and something there. So yes, check out your surroundings. So you're supposed to check out your surroundings because chances are there could be fallen trees there. There could be hazard, broken glass, woods, stone, boulders, and all these things. You're supposed to check out your surroundings to see if there is something there that wasn't there from the beginning and what you should do. You're supposed to check out your surroundings to find out what exactly is going on in your environment. So you seek out your neighbors, right? Whereas if there are elderly persons live next door, or a pregnant lady, or a young mother, sometimes most of the time these persons in most cases they cannot help themselves and they might need assistance. So you have to check to find out if they are alright, if anything happened to them, and the list goes on. So you're supposed to check on your neighbors. All of you and them never did friend at that time. Human being chips in, and then you say, alright, I'm gonna find out about my neighbor at the moment because it's just for a little season. Alright, so you look for cracks, broken glass, fallen trees, and holes. Alright. The reason why you should look out for these because these are hazards and it can cause accident. It can worsen the problem. And if, for instance, if tree fall down on you, or if you drop in a hole, or if something cuts your, chances are you might not be able to go to the doctor or the hospital because maybe there might be roadblocks and you could just lose your life right here. So based on how intense the bleeding is or whatever the accident that just happened. So you should be more careful at this time because persons are going to be looking about their business, so they're not going to really have time for you to do your business because they're going to be making sure that their business are okay before you. So you have to just try and protect yourself at the time. So you should not touch electrical wires, right? One of the reasons why you should not touch electrical wires are maybe there are currents still in the electrical wire, and if it touch you, you might be electrocuted or something might happen to you. So you should not touch electrical wires. Let persons who are certified come and check up on them. Alright. Do not strike much candles or flames. So one of the reasons why you should not strike any match is because there might be leakage, right? The gas might be leaking, maybe from damage, it might get or whatever it is. You might have leakage of gas, and as soon as you strike the match, it might have a blow up or whatever. So you should not strike match or whatever. So you should know your first aid in case there's an accident or somebody at the time need first aid, so you know how to administer the first aid to these persons, because if you don't know how to administer these first aid to these persons, they might have a loss of life simply because you don't know your CPR, what to do to the individual, and maybe by the time the emergency team should come or turn up, or the medical team or the medics, the person maybe lost their life because simply you didn't maybe know how to stop a bleeding wound or to give mouth to mouth resuscitation, and the list goes on. Alright. Alright, so you should know your assembly point. If some house might have assembly point, but mostly like schools and workplace, most of the time they have something they call assembly point, where persons or where everyone gather after are doing an earthquake or in case of any emergency. If there's a fire or whatever it is, you should know the emergency. You should know the assembly point. You should know the exit. You should know the exit where you should leave, where you should enter from during an emergency. So things like those you should know, because one of the reasons why you should know is you don't want any chaos and confusion, and you don't want persons to be going in the opposite direction or going in the wrong direction, and that can also cause chaos and problem, because I could be running in a direct, I could be exiting a building and you entering into the building at the same time, and if there are lots of persons in the building or doing that vicinity or the environment, then it could cause problem, because based on how narrow the passage is, or the space is, person might have to be going back and going back or coming forward, because there is not enough space to move freely. And then also maybe some persons, they are not very careful when they come on to certain things. Y'all can't stop the nice. Over this already, I'm making enough nice and me ears well. Are you sitting there and clap, you see? Oh. I didn't pick me, you can't have a thing straight. You had something that you remember when you did that.
Look there.
Yes, I was saying that you should know your assembly point. Know where you should gather in case something goes wrong, right? And where they give instructions. So you should know the assembly point. You should turn off gas, water, and electricity. Alright, so even before anything happen, or even if you know there's something gonna happen, you should turn off all these things. Turn off the gas. The water can cause flooding, and electricity can cause damage and all these things, right? You can get electrocuted and all these things. So when you turn off your gas, you know that the place may be likely to catch a fire or to get damaged. Then you turn off the gas or whatever, and then if it didn't turn off the gas and there's a leakage and somebody strike a match, then the place can just go up in flame. So you have to know what you're supposed to do before, during, and after doing any natural disaster or anything at all. Alright, what you should do during an earthquake, you should stay calm, right? You should not get too fussy and panic and cause chaos and all this commotion, in the place. Stay calm as possible. It's hard to stay calm because we're not used to certain things, or you're not used to certain environment. You might want to be acting and carrying on, and You're not frightened and all these things. So you have to learn or practice to stay calm so you don't cause more damage than what was done already, right? So if you are outdoors, stay in an open area. Alright, you should stay in an open area because you might not know when moving objects are coming, right? They're not going to say, "Hey, I'm a moving object, get out of my way." No, and they can't even talk neither. So when you're in an open area, you might be able to see, for example, you might see falling trees coming, or you might see a zinc sailing, depends on how strong the wind is, or if there's boulders coming down, or if there's a landslide. Depends where you are, so you might be able to see these things. But if you are in a close area and certain things, oh my word, happening, then you won't be able to deal with it. Mighty God of Daniel, Papa Jesus, when did I reach this thing? Oh my word, yes. So there are certain things you should know what you're supposed to do during, after, and before. Alright, if you're in a car, you should stop the car and wait till the earthquake finish. Alright, so if you're in any moving vehicle at all, you should stop the vehicle and make sure, and wait till whatever it is over, because the car could be moving as well as car is not moving and things will happen. But the car could be moving and you're driving further down the road and there may be a tree hanging somewhere waiting to fall, or maybe there's a bolus there coming, right? Or maybe there's blockage somewhere and you don't know, or there could be rising water, flooded area, and you don't know. But when you stop, you might be able to see things, look around, and observe what is going on. But when you are there driving, you are focusing on the road, and some things might be coming that you can't see from certain angle, or things might carry over there, so the wind or the water, whatever it is. So you should stop and wait until the earthquake is over. Alright, you should not use an elevator, right? The reason why you shouldn't use an elevator during an earthquake is because current can gone, right? And when current gone, you know, say if the elevator go shut off anyway, but the current stop. And you know you're gonna be in that elevator, and if it's up in the air, oh my word, right? Oh my word, you're gonna maybe stuck up there, and maybe when the current come back, I don't know, maybe it's gonna just come down so hard or whatever it is. I don't know the forces that it might have to, or the impact that it might have to deal with. So you should not, go in an elevator when there's in any natural disaster, any crisis or whatever. You should not um choose an elevator. You should try something else, because that have electricity to do it. Alright, so even after the earthquake, they were still having aftershock. I don't know if it was 60 or 70 or somewhere in the region. They said that they have how much aftershocks, right? Yes. So when I was going to this particular college, alright, it depends on the courses that you are doing. Then they will carry you to places and to show you, certain things. I remember when I was at this college and somewhere in Portland, I don't remember, and they carry us to show us this place where the earthquake, where it's a sudden movement of the earth crust, and sometimes have some land they join together, and because of the earthquake, it might shift. So you realize that it's the shifting of the earth crust. So when we went there, the place was actually divided. You can see where it kind of separated from this land over here. Like have this land here, and then it separates. But if you didn't know the area, you might be saying to yourself, these persons are not talking the truth. But because maybe they knew what the place looked like, then they were able to say that this is, this was the place. But if you don't have any experience to prior whatever it was, then you might not be able to say that's what happened there. So as I said, lack of knowledge is a ever thing. And then also, when you have certain knowledge and you don't use it, that could be something too. Because if you don't have your knowledge, if you have your knowledge and you sit on your knowledge, then it's like it's not benefiting either me or you because you're not sharing. Oh Lord, sharing that wealth of knowledge. It's sad though. Anyway, alright. So after shock, so you had building that were damaged. Especially some schools were damaged, houses were damaged. So um, those need either they have to demolish it or they have to repair. It depends on the condition or the state of the building. Some schools were closed because some schools were affected as in physically, so they had to do a check to find out to what extent the school were damaged and the students were able to return to school the following day, right? So building place were closed also to check on the assessment and to find out what is things need to be done because some buildings were damaged badly. Glasses were cracked and bathrooms were damaged, walls were damaged, and so because of that, they had to do an assessment to find out what are the alternatives if they can come back to work tomorrow, or they should use the next building, or they could use the same building. So they have to do certain assessment to make sure that things are okay. And also there were a lack of electricity, so you know that you cannot do some work without electricity because you need electricity to do some work. So if there was no electricity at work, then it didn't make any sense for you to go to work because that would like be maybe a waste of time because you're going to work but you're not doing anything at work. Then that would maybe defeat the purpose of maybe going to work. Some school they turn to online classes, especially for students who were doing CXC. And for some schools that were closed, they told some of the students who, especially those who were doing CXC, that they should come to school. And for those who weren't doing any CXC, they could maybe still because of the damage or the extent to which the earthquake did. Alright. So business places were also closed. Alright, so what are some of the recommendations? Warning, maybe ADPEM or whoever, they should give out a warning to say, alright, there's gonna be an earthquake or whatever. And some persons in the news they say that even hours after the earthquake, at whoever didn't give out any warning, but maybe they themselves were shocked, or maybe they didn't have any power, whatever it is, to release certain pressure or whatever, release certain things. So then again, to each his own. Alright, you could also educate individual on earthquake. So when you educate individual on earthquake, then they maybe know what to do, when to do, where to do, and how to do it, and what is the earthquake drill. When you know the earthquake drill, then you may be able to act according to the earthquake drill. But when you don't know anything at all, then you won't know what you're supposed to do. You can practice earthquake drill from time to time to know, to refresh and to let them bear in mind some of the things that they should do during an earthquake. Alright. So you can educate individual what to do before, during, and after an earthquake, so that when disaster strike, they won't be in whatever they're in. You know, they won't be that distort and breakdown and, you know, in a condition where they're shocked and they're not able to recover or to gain or to help anyone other, not even themselves sometimes. So yes, when you educate persons, then they themselves will educate others, and you know, things will maybe be more a little bit easier. Alright, so after shock, some persons they had epilepsy, you know, fits. Some persons had asthma trigger. Some stress, some persons stress level increase, right? Some had sleepless night because of the trauma that they went through. Some went in depression. Some went in panic. Some panic attack. Anxiety was there. High blood pressure and all these things. And worse if you had some of these things before. And for the earthquake to add to whatever it is, so you know, some person had to go to the doctor because of, you know, some of the things that they went through. Some of the things that they went through, guys. So I love you too, just as all you love, just as all you love me. So please, I'm asking you to continue to take care of yourself and your family member, and as you go through this life, just think positive, you know, think positive and just hope for the best and wish for the best, and just tell yourself that you're going to make it no matter what, you know, you're going through. And love others. It's hard to love people, but try and love them, because some people they need the love, you know, because sometimes they are not getting the love, and you know, sometimes you come from a home where, you know, persons are traumatized and all these things. So just have to just spread the love across the nation.
Oh no, fire bukannya. It can also. Don't think it's a fire.